Hey, what's going on everyone, it's Green Zero and I am back here once again with another Command & Conquer 3 Kane's Wrath video commentary. This one is fresh on the popular replays tab. I was looking for a replay to VOD and of what I've seen there's not too much going, so we're going to do this one here. Should be good. I haven't seen this one, it did slip through obviously. We have eXs.D Dutch, which is Dirty Dutch, and we have WilsonK170 PT, who I've probably never VODed before here. And Hydraulic observing this one as well. Let's jump straight in. We have Wilson over here on the left hand side. Like I said, first time I've VODed this guy here, so let's see how he does. I think he's a pretty average play here. He's against eXs.D Dutch, which is Dirty Dutch, which he's a pretty powerful Nod slash GDI player. I reckon his Nod's probably better than his GDI, to be honest. But let's see what he does here. What's he going to do? He's got his one engineer out. It looks like he's going for a second engineer there. What has Wilson got? He just went for a single engineer and he is running to his spike. So Nod versus GDI, classic vanilla matchup, just like the last VOD with Steve Nash and Unleashed. Quite a nice game, very nice to watch. I can't believe it didn't get, I mean it has gone popular, but yeah, a lot of discussion around that game there. So anyway, let's just continue on. It looks like Dirty Dutch has plans to take at least one of the bottom spikes. I'm not sure why. Yeah, he changed his engineer then. He was moving across the center of the map. I thought he meant to move down here. He's going to be happy to find that Wilson didn't go for shadow teams here. He's going to be able to clean up Wilson's scouts. No worries there. He's got 2 rifles to 1 militant. That's never going to work. Now, there is a booby trap on this structure here. You can see there it is right there. So he's obviously going to try and prevent Dutch from garrisoning that. Let's see if he does that. Anyway, look, what has Dutch got? He's got a scouting squad there. He's got a scouting squad here. He's going to get this spike. No worries. That's good for him. He's going to be a spike up. Of course, he's probably a little bit still. No, he's not quite stalled on cash yet. He needs to get that spike ASAP, and it's going to be coming right in time. Shredder Tara comes down, fires at these guys, far out, even damages them, kills the scouting squad there, prevents anything from going off there, and Dirty Dutch is going to jump into this structure, and yeah, there goes his scouts. They die straight up, but he's got another scouting squad there, and he just jumps straight back in. Wilson's going to be disappointed about that, but booby chats, what are they, like $100? It definitely paid for itself. Oh, he just sold his MCV, and he's got an operations center, and he's got the flame tanks out. That's why he wanted to stop Dirty Dutch. Now, I honestly think that Dirty Dutch, there's the pit scout, not moving out yet, of course. Maybe he's going for more. He's going for more. He's either caught on to the fact that there's bikes coming, because the thing is, if a Nod player makes too big an effort to prevent you from scouting their base, you kind of know something's up. It's like, hey, he sent extra scouts, he drafted an extra shredder turret, he really doesn't want me to see what's happening. Now Dutch can't see anything which is happening at the moment. There's the engineer from the MCV with the scouting squad, 1 flame tank up there, 1 flame tank up there. Nice work here. We're going to have basically an all-in just about flame rush. There is double black hand inside the Reckoner. He did not sell his operations center, he's keeping that, and here come the Pitbulls, and this is bad. This is bad. Dirty Dutch is going to move through and destroy or disable this Reckoner. That's going to be really bad. One of the Pitbulls gets flamed down though. That's bad. This flame tank could probably just about defend this Reckoner. I don't think the Reckoner is going to make it all the way. There is a second War Factory here by Dirty Dutch. No, the Reckoner is not going to be able to make range. Oh, he may just, yes. He's very heavily damaged, forced to deploy there because he lost most of his health. Going to flame down the MCV, and here there's another flame tank here. He needs to get his other flame tank over there. Laser field goes up. He does have a comm center, sells off one of his war phases. I'm not sure if Dirty Dutch has done this the best way possible, and there's bikes coming in now. This Predator tank's going to be distracted by the bikes, which are just flying straight through, not targeting anything, and they're getting kind of wasted there. But it doesn't matter because there's still 2 flame tanks and this flame Reckoner, and the MCV is down, and that's what he needed. That's what he needed. Now he really needs to either get a refinery or get some harvesters. That one other flame tank though is going to go down. The Blackhand are out of the Reckoner. They need to watch out. They're going to get crushed. These bikes not being controlled too well. They do snipe a harvester. He is expending a lot of bikes there. And oh man, this one's pretty rush happy here. There's still 3 bikes remaining. They will get another harvester. He needs to get at least 1 more, I think, to make this really work. He just doesn't quite. Yes, he does get another bike come through. Now he's expended so much bikes in this attack. Both his flame tanks are there. He still has these 2 Blackhand squads, but they're just about dead. Dirty Dutch is down to just 2 harvesters, and there are still 2 bikes driving around up there. The Reckoner is about to be destroyed. Not that it matters, there's nothing in it. Goes down now, that 1 Predator tank ranking up. These 2 bikes may be able to snipe down another harvester. Dirty Dutch not moving that harvester away. He's reverse moving now, but is he going to, maybe he should just sacrifice his bikes? Yes, he does. He sacrifices another bike, and that bike there goes down. All of his bikes now down. and another harvester comes out for Dirty Dutch. So this is the thing, Dutch has no offensive power. He's got 3 Predator tanks and 2 harvesters, which are not harvesting full loads because obviously they're picking up the dead tib. He really needs to do something about that. This command center, I don't think he should just sell that. I think he can't really do much with it. I mean, all he can build is Shatterer tanks, which really aren't going to help him at this stage in the game. Now, what is Wilson doing? He actually rebuilt a Conyard. Now, this is really good. This is really good. He's still going bikes. He's still got just 2 harvesters, but he did manage to get a Conyard out. That is a really good effort, by the way, to have built that many bikes, sacrificed them, and to still have a Conyard out. And he's still got bikes. Now, he really can't waste these bikes here now. He expended them like crazy before. His engineer's actually up there. He probably could have taken a spike. Or at least, we probably couldn't get this one because Dutch has scouts there, but he should have moved his engineers. Obviously forgotten about that. But I think he did a pretty good job of that. Not perfect, but he did a really good job of that. Now, Dutch is not going for an MCV. Some of his harvesters still only picking up small amounts of Tiberium. He needs to fix that. They're picking up the small bits of Tiberium dropped by the dead harvesters there. But I think they've cleaned that all up now. Unless it's going to turn around and go back in. No, it's going to get more. Now, there are pit bulls out. The bikes are going to want to avoid them and get around and behind. If there were bikes down here, they could poke in. I can't even see where they are on the radar. Where are they on the radar? I'm looking for them. This radar's so terribly bad. Blackhand squad going down there. He sold the operations center off. And the engineer actually gets killed by the pit bulls. So you can see that Wilson's got a couple of rocket squads here. He knows there's pit bulls, so he's really got a heads up here of what's happening. He's even expanding, and he's immediately removing that harvester. He's reverse moving. He should reverse move it down towards the war factory, so it's behind the buildings and it gets repairs. But no, he just reverse moved it to some random direction there, and he's going to pay for it, losing 1 harvester. But Dutch can't hope to get any more harvesters. Meanwhile, the bikes are out, and they're attacking the MCV out of the war factory. It cannot deploy. No, it does deploy, so lucky there. Those 4 bikes will make their escape. I was wondering where they had been all game. I lost sight of them before I was looking for them, and then Dutch came in with those pit bulls. Nice rocket defense. I felt he could have saved that harvester. He just reverse moved it over to the left when he could have reverse moved it down between the structures. Once you get between the structures, the pit bulls have to, they lose their line of sight, and you're getting free repairs, and it gets messy. But he only lost 1 harvester, and he got all the pit bulls, which is probably alright now. This is interesting. He's moved his MCV on the other side of the tib field as his southern expansion. Now, Dutch, if he comes through here, he's not going to see any expansion, so he's probably going to be thinking blue field or center field or still all in. And there you go, actually getting an engineer to repair his construction yard. I'm going to assume that's what he did because he's got a barracks there, and it's got a lot more health on it. And those bikes still just driving around. He hasn't lost them yet, so that's good. Again, this field is wide open here. He could definitely flank around. He knows there's Predator tanks heading for him, but these rockets can easily dispatch those. He is working on his economy, and like I said, if Dutch sends a scout around here, he's going to probably just drive straight here, only see like this much of the field, and not realize this is a base over here mining, so that's going to be bad for Dutch. Let's see if he can pick up on that. He does send a scouting squad in. He doesn't see an MCV. He definitely knows there's 2 ref because he had his pit bulls in there before. So this game, quite interesting, classic, very extremely aggressive nod, and he's just settled down a bit now. These bikes, they really need to get out there. I mean, he had Dutch on the ropes a bit there, and Dutch is recovering, and he's GDI. You need to keep GDI down. He's got an advantage. Wilson's got an advantage. He needs to push that advantage, and he needs to keep the GDI at his base, on his heels, on the defensive for as long as possible, and then perhaps he can build up a Scorp spam or something like that, or go for his tech. He has only got 1 refinery down here, but there's 2 harvesters. No, there's 3 harvesters down there, sorry. And that Blackhand squad, that has been down there for a while, so obviously forgot about that, but now he's going to clean up that spike from Dutch. He has been on an extra spike. Then his opponent not going to do too much. Now there's a few pit bulls here, but there's 4 Scorpion tanks now. The pit bulls can try and kite the Scorpion tanks, but it's not going to work. Dutch probably not paying attention. He does get one down there. I'm not sure if he intended to move all the way through there, if he was not paying attention. But the spike is down there. A few pit bulls go down. He obviously knows there's a base here now. He's definitely rolled in and seen it. And a couple of Scorpion tanks there. And more Scorpion tanks up there. No tier 2 yet from Wilson here. I can't... Oh, what's happening up there? Bikes are coming around. What are they doing? Did they snipe a harvester? I'm not quite sure. Dutch has sold off one of his refineries. And these bikes, there's no reason for them to hang around there. They might as well just get out of there. Dutch is actually force firing the ground here. He obviously did not intend to do that. He's just got to try to control grid or something. This pit bull down here has been left down there. Powered down. War factory. Another ref comes up. Oh, he sells off the war factory. What's he going for here? And he sells off the ref. Starting to move his harvesters. You see how he's got 5 harvesters here? He probably could have moved some of them sooner. He should let those ones dock that have Tiberium and then move the other 2 to his expansion, or at least maybe put 1 or 2 to the blue field because it's a good time. Now this is the problem. Dutch has actually recovered. He's getting quite strong. He is GDI vanilla, and as you can see, he's starting to get a ground army, and it's going to be really hard now for Wilson, because Dutch, he has his expansion secured. He's rolling. He's got an armory up. He's going for composite armor as well. He's not going for his comm center again. He still has an upgraded power plant. And these Black Hand squad moving around, clear out the scouts down here, just denying vision. The bikes are now picking away at this spike, so at least they're destroying something now. And that's putting pressure on Dutch to either save that or just let it die and let those bikes continue to harass. He's moving some units down there. 1 Predator tank, 2 rocket squads, more than enough to scare these guys away. And there is a secret shrine here, so remember, he did sell off one of his war factories, and he is going for infantry and his upgrades here, obviously for both of them. But does he have enough time? Is Dutch going to attack before those upgrades are done? Now, this is the thing. Dutch is waiting for his upgrade to finish. He's waiting for composite armor. He's like, all right, I'm going to build as many vehicles as infantry units as I can, and when the armor is done, I'm going to move out. He's actually starting to move out now, anticipating that's going to be finishing soon. He's even going for another expansion, not worrying about his tech center. And there's 2 bikes around here. And that's a good idea. Take power. There's nothing to stop him from destroying the power plant, so he might as well destroy them. That Black Hand squad, I can't help but feel that's going to come in handy very soon. And he's actually switched targets to the upgraded one. That's pretty good. He did waste a few shots there, but at least they're both pretty badly damaged. And here comes the attack. No AP ammo. Could be a problem. There's quite a few rocket squads here, and there's a lot of Scorpion tanks, but the Scorpion tanks are not formed up. They need a reverse move, maybe get on a whole ground stance in a line formation. Dutch is pushing. He has his armor upgrade. There are no shredder turrets down here by his out. Oh, geez. There's actually shadow teams flying around. I'm not sure if he was going to use them as anti-infantry or what. And there's a pretty big fight here. Infantry upgrades just finish in time for this major fight here. And can Dutch break the nod here? I'm not quite sure. I want to keep everything on this area here. He may be Q moving because those shadow teams are coming back. But no, it looks like there's just too many Predator tanks here. And here comes the Crush. All the Scorpion tanks are gone, so there's nothing to stop him from moving in. Actually, there's a couple more Scorpion tanks here. But they really shouldn't be moving in. They should be staying at maximum range. There's something happening back there. Bikes going down, Black Hand squad coming in. He did actually finish off those 2 power plants, which is pretty bad. And looks like the infantry actually going to be able to clean this force up. He's actually switched targets to harvesters. He is going to get 1 harvester, but the rest of these forces will probably be destroyed. Most of his Scorp tanks are gone, so that's pretty bad. Dutch is getting blue tib now. And look at that, Wilson moved his MCV all the way across the map, bypassing the blue field. That's an interesting move there. I can't believe he bypassed the blue field. Obviously felt he couldn't take it. Maybe he saw that Dutch was moving there. I'm not sure. Pretty big imp spam coming out here by Dirty Dutch. He's probably going to be going for his tech now. And all revealing the shadow teams there on the gun turret there. I'm not sure why they're flying around there. Maybe just be scouts for him. I'm not sure if he's intending to destroy power plants with those. There you go, flying them away now. More battle markers up here, but there's nothing much happening. Wilson's just been kind of sitting his army around here. It looks like the longer the game goes on, the bigger the engagements, the more bases, the more units that he has. He can't quite control them, and I'm not criticizing here or anything like that. I'm just saying I've never seen him as a player before, and it just feels like that's what's happening. Dirty Dutch, on the other hand, is actually going for another expansion. So he's playing the Super Eco GDI. He knows that the Nod player isn't tech, so he's not worrying about his own tech. He's just going to keep building this massive death ball of GDI units. He's even building shadow tanks now. He knows that if there's no Nod tech, he can just keep building these tier 1, tier 2 units and just completely run over the Nod player here. He has got a double racks here, and he needs to start shooting at that construction yard. Remember, there is no AP ammo for Dirty Dutch. And so this infantry is going to be reasonably potent. I mean, they're going to be able to destroy those guys there. What's happening over here? That spike getting attacked. Dutch did save that spike and has repaired it. Wilson has cleaned up his expansion here. What's happening over there? He is building up an army over here, but it doesn't seem to be doing much. Again, it's just sitting around. There goes the shadow teams. They've taken out 2 power plants. That one was upgraded as well, so Dutch obviously upgrading that at some point in time. And all of a sudden, all his Conyard is in serious trouble. He hasn't got any power, and he's being forced to sell off his structures here. That's bad because these guys here have the grenades, and that will really hurt the rifleman squads here, and as well as the shredder turrets. And look at that, he's actually going to destroy these power plants. Nice building blocking attempt there by Dutch, but can it save him? No, he places the other power plant over there. I think he's going to lose his MCV. There's battle markers going off. Looks like the Nod army is moving through the middle of the map here and going to attack this base head. But look at the army. Oh man, Dutch has got a massive army there. He's going to lose his Conyard. He's going to lose this area here. Wilson needs to get some more economy up there right now, but this army here, the GDI depth ball, is just getting so big now. And he's got shadow tanks, he's got rockets and rifles with their upgrades, he's got APCs and Predator tanks. No upgrades for those guys there, but he doesn't really need the upgrade on the Predator tanks because he's against mainly infantry. He could benefit from AP ammo, but it looks like, I mean, sniper teams in this situation are pretty good as well because they work better. Once the hallucinogenic grenades get thrown, all the GDI infantry, there you go, they just start attacking each other. And so AP ammo might not be the best thing because it's just going to allow Dutch to destroy himself faster. And you can see there, look at that, how much damage those grenades do. They just force all of his own units to attack themselves. Very bad. Some of these forces did move back. They are quite heavily damaged. Some of them anyway. This infantry force though is spread out. Those shadow tanks, oh man, they cause so much damage, don't they? Dutch is pushing on the main base here. Wilson is selling up, and Dutch is losing his area over here. He's powering down like crazy. Those shadow teams actually must have been taking out more power. I did not notice. And he's focusing down the shadow tanks. He knows if there's no shadow tanks, his infantry is actually going to do quite well. There's only one APC left. What's happening over there? Spike's still getting attacked. Wilson's base is getting dropped, but it's not important. He can afford to lose this. There's no Tiberium here. He can abandon this area if he needs to. And what's happening over here? Looks like Harvesters maybe stealing blue tip. No, not quite. There's a couple of Scorpion tanks attacking Dutch's Harvesters. He's got a lot of Harvesters here. And oh man, power is a serious problem for him right now. He's powered everything down. He's got a few shadow tanks. All of a sudden his forces diminished. He couldn't crush Wilson. Wilson just spread out across the entire map. And that was crazy. Oh man, no wonder this one's got to the popular replay tab. This is a really good game here. And I haven't seen one of these in quite a while. And look at that, the infantry going to clean it up here. Dutch, no sniper teams, no APM. They try to do it with shadow tanks. Good idea. Kind of worked, but like I said, Wilson just spread out across the entire map. And he's just caused lots of problems. He's just going all out infantry now. I think perhaps he thought he was going to lose the game, so he just decided to bury everything into one major tactic. Just to hold the line as long as possible before going down, but it looks like he's actually winning now. I'm not sure if he realizes how far ahead he is. I mean, Dutch does have an expansion up, but he's got no economy. He harvested all the blue. Most of his harvesters are down. He has a little bit of tib there. He's got a refinery over there. He needs that tib desperately, but Wilson is cranking. Look at all the harvesters, 3, 6, 7, 8 harvesters there. He's obviously done a good job pulling some of his harvesters from across the map. And here we go. AP ammo is done now from Dutch. But these Rifleman squads, like I said, against Vanilla Nod, the Rifleman squad combo doesn't work too well because of the hallucinogenic grenades. They'll just force those Rifles to attack each other and kill each other. And this infantry spam not working too well. Selling off the command center there. No more shadow tanks. He's just going to go for tower defense now. He's got a lot of rockets here, but what are they going to do? Oh man, I'm not sure why he built so many rockets here. They're going to get splashed by enemy rockets. They're going to get hit by hallucinogenic grenades. But it looks like Wilson is going to pull back. So maybe Dutch just got himself some breathing room here. All reinforcements coming in down here. Looks like he's building more militant squads as well. He knows that he doesn't need as many rockets anymore because there are no vehicles, and he does need them to destroy the structures, but he's actually going to kill these units here. That's nice. All hallucinogenic grenades. Oh, they hurt so much. You've got to counter with vehicles or sniper teams, really. You can't counter with your own infantry. I mean, Black Kane you can counter with your own infantry because they don't have hallucinogenic grenades. And oh man, he's moving his forces up here. Dutch does have a harvester over there, so he knows he needs his tib, but it looks like, oh man, he's going to go straight for the ref. I thought that was gutsy, but no, he's going to start targeting some of these towers down here. There is just not enough towers. They probably should have been placed behind the refinery, although he needs to defend it, so he can't afford to lose the refinery because then he loses his base, and that's his only Tiberium. And it looks like the harvester is actually going to evac. He's going to try to drive away. He knows he can't hold this. There's too much infantry there, and he is going to lose this base now. One more tower going down, just trying to cause as much damage as he can, but there's no build radius here anymore for Dutch. There's only a tower, and he just sells it straight away. The good thing is, yes, he gets the APMO Rifleman squads, but they're just going to get slammed because there's only one there. And there goes the imp spam. He's got quite a bit there, and he is just continuing to do this. He's not tech switching. Where's his MCV? His MCV is no, there it is. Oh man, look at this. What a game sense. He realizes he's almost out of tip. He's still planning to play this game, and a lot of people don't do this. They get to this stage where like, oh, I've won. I'm not going to bother expanding or doing anything. But Wilson is. He's continued to expand. He hasn't just assumed that Dutch is going to surrender or anything like that. And a lot of players, like tons of players, make this mistake. They just like, no, I don't need to expand. I'll just kill him with what I got. Then they can't kill him with what they've got, and the other player starts coming back because they have got no expansion. But here, Wilson is he's taking a little bit of time just to get the extra expansion up, and he's probably going to turn it around and take this game nicely. He's basically closing the door on Dutch to make a comeback here. And I'm not just saying that Dutch is going to lose here, because he definitely has got a nice defensive position. He's got a line of towers, he's got some shadow tanks. I'm not sure why he's continuing to build rocket squads. Maybe they're just the ones left over from before. He is moving his MCV to this field here. There is a little bit of Tiberium, enough to warrant an expansion there. And it looks like the blue tib field is getting cleaned up by Wilson here. It wasn't obviously fully regrown, but he has got a few there. And he's put these guys out here in a formation move by the looks of it. He's cleaning this area up here. And now he's gone for a war factory. Now, no one has their tier 3 in this game. In fact, Wilson was only briefly on tier 2 at the very start of the game. And he spent the entire game basically on tier 1 and tier 1.5. That's crazy that this game has gone that long and he's not, and he's just stuck on tier 1. It doesn't even. The only upgrade he has is a tier 1.5 upgrade for his infantry. I don't think he didn't get anything from his operations center. I don't think he got dozer blades. Now, Willie Tech here, he could benefit from Tibcore bikes because he's building bikes, but he needs to get down 2 tech structures now and get the upgrade. That's going to take a while to transition. It would hurt Dutch, although Dutch has still got a lot of infantry, and there is going to be an inf attack up here. Now, these power plants, that power plant is very vulnerable, and the power plant placement is coming back to hurt. Dirty Dutch obviously cannot foresee what's going to happen in the future there, and he drops that one, but it doesn't lower the power. Those 2 shadow tanks cause a little bit of damage, but they just got overwhelmed. Oh no, power is down. Dutch needs to power micro like crazy, but another power plant goes down. Oh, this is terrible. More infantry coming in from the side here. All of his towers going down. He may have just sold them off at the last second. He just doesn't have enough power. And he is getting really slammed by this APM. I'm surprised there was no sniper teams out, because sniper teams do well against vanilla Nod. They do very well. They can outrange them. They can just snipe and pull back. It's one shot on these infantry, I'm pretty sure. Maybe the Cabals are different, but all those bikes getting smashed there. But Dutch has actually surrendered. There is a battle marker on the top left field. Maybe his Conyard was under attack. I'm not quite sure. But that was a very, very, very good game. Well done to both players there. Well done to Wilson. Never seen him before. And yeah, crazy rush. And then his mid game was a little bit iffy, but he just spread around like a parasite and just kept fighting. Look at the resources at the end there. He took the extra step to get his resources, and that paid off. You can see there with the all-in rush, he was obviously below Dirty Dutch there, and he caused a lot of damage. Quite obviously not enough because Dutch is still ahead there, but then he leveled off because Dutch obviously tried to get back on the offensive straight away. Leveled it off, and then Dutch got the blue tib, and he just jumped back ahead. But Wilson, he just had so much green tib that he just pulled ahead there, and then secured Dutch's main base. Regrowing Tiberian there, and just yeah, went ahead. That was a very good economic battle there from Wilson and development. He had pretty good macro there, so that wasn't too bad at all. Structures up and down, pretty even. Units, we can see there. Look at that. Until the 10-minute mark, there wasn't really very many units on the field at all. This is probably where Dutch made that big push at the base, and you can see he lost most of it there. But look at that, Wilson, massive drop. He lost basically everything in. So they basically traded. But Wilson had more expansions and more economy to back himself up, so he recovered really fast. And then at the next fight, Dutch did pretty good again because he basically killed twice as many units as he lost again. But again, the macro came in and had saved Wilson there. As you can see, he just skyrocketed up. He was just going for mass infantry here. I reckon he probably thought he was going to lose the game there, so he was just going to go, oh, I'll just spend every cent I have on infantry and just hope for the best. And it turned out amazing. Dutch just didn't have AP ammo fast enough. He didn't use sniper teams. He was trying to use shadow tanks, but he just couldn't get enough of them. And Dutch just leveling out there. Let's look at the stats. 20 minutes, 13 seconds. Dutch actually created 55 structures to Wilson's 44. Probably mostly defenses from Dutch. He built so many towers. That's why his structures are so high compared to Wilson, considering Wilson had way more bases. He was at like, what, 4 tib fields compared to Dutch's 3. And one of them was the blue field for Dutch, so it doesn't really count very much. Structures destroyed. Dutch only got 4, which means that Wilson was selling off a lot of his structures that were about to be destroyed, so that's good, he got money from them, whereas Wilson destroyed 31 structures. So Dutch not selling too many off there, mainly selling as his base offenses. So shadow teams, I would have liked to have seen them a little bit more, because they were obviously dropping power plants left, right and center. I don't know what happened to them, sorry about that. Looks like Wilson created more than double what Dutch has. That's expected. He only killed 117, which puts a 0.31 kill death ratio for Wilson. That's pretty bad for Nod. I mean, you'd want at least 0.5, but he was going massive spam, so you got to expect that. Dutch's was 2.71, but the economy is where we're going to see the story. And look at that, 133,415 to Dutch and 173,615 to Wilson. So was that 43.50? That's $40,000 in favor of Wilson there. Gathered that most of that was probably in the last 3 minutes of the game, where it's probably from here onwards that the 3 minutes is. So he did so well to stop the GDI death ball there, and Dutch, you can't blame him for doing that kind of tactic, because he knew, hey, the Nod's not teched, I can just walk over him with this. But somehow Wilson survived. I'm still not sure how he survived. Like, again, he was just spread out so thin, and he just moved around the map and forced Dutch to move around with him. And Dutch needed all his army together, which wasn't happening a lot of the time. So that was a very good game there. Incredibly good game. Head on over and wub that game if you believe the game deserves it, not just because you like my VODs or you don't like my VODs or whatever. Anyway, I'm Green Zero, and I will see you all next time.